Studies show that 80% of our daily thoughts are negative, and 95% are the same ones that we had yesterday. That means that most people are stuck in a loop of self-doubt, fear, and unworthiness without even realizing it. But what if those thoughts aren't actually true? What if the story that you keep repeating about yourself is just a habit and one that you can unlearn? Because your thoughts aren't facts, but they do create your reality. And today, I'm going to show you how to reframe the thoughts that keep you stuck and process emotions that feel overwhelming and shift into a mindset that actually supports the life that you want to live. And by the end of this video, you will walk away with a powerful set of tools to stop spiraling, stop overthinking, and finally feel in control of how you respond to life, no matter what is happening around you. Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Nina Elise. I am an embodiment and growth mentor and a somatic practitioner. I teach you how to view the world differently by understanding how your brain, your body, and your emotions work so that you can reduce anxiety, regulate your nervous system and emotions, and live an aligned life full of peace and joy. So if that resonates with you, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss videos that help you stop the spiral and start living in full alignment. Now, let's dive in. I want to start this off by getting real with you. I used to live in a loop of negative thoughts, and it is still something that I am actively working on. So I used to believe that sadness made me lovable, and that being emotionally overwhelmed was just who I was. And one day I picked up the book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it gave me a really strong wake-up call. In the book, it says we become addicted to our reactions because they gave us something once, whether it was attention, validation, or a sense of control. And when I read that, I realized that my sadness and my reactivity was actually an unconscious strategy because I unconsciously believed that it brought me attention and love. And my overthinking was actually a way to keep myself safe. But these strategies were super outdated, obviously, and it was keeping me from actually living an aligned life where I was reacting from a place of love and feeling safe. So once I realized this, I got to work. So I used tools like timeline therapy to release old emotional anchors and beliefs in my mind. And I also used somatic breathwork to discharge stored stress in my body. I also used EFT tapping and subliminals to build new thought patterns. And slowly, over time, I became someone who was able to choose their response instead of someone who reacts from pain or unconscious beliefs. So why do we do this and think the way that we do? Here's the truth that most people do not realize. We don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are. And your brain is a story-making machine. It fills in the blanks, makes assumptions, and creates meaning super fast. And it does this because uncertainty feels unsafe. So your brain would rather tell you a familiar or even painful story than sit with the unknown, which is so wild. So this is why reframing your thoughts isn't about lying to yourself. It is about freeing yourself from the illusion that your first thought is the only truth. One of my favorite quotes from A Course in Miracles is, "Perception selects and makes the world you see. The world you see is what you gave it, nothing more than that. It is the witness to your state of mind, the outside picture of an inward condition." So translated, you are literally projecting your internal state onto the external world. And until you rewire or shift what's happening inside of you, your world will not change. Adlerian philosophy teaches us something super profound. We are not determined by our past. We are guided by the meaning that we give it. So if your story is, "I always sabotage good things," you will find evidence to support it. But if you choose to believe that, "I am learning to feel safe with good things," your actions will begin to align. Your past is not holding you back. It is your interpretation and the story of it that is. That is what is keeping you stuck in negative thought loops because you are continuing to drag your past into this future moment, which is creating your perception of reality. And that, my friends, can be changed. And this is where we get really practical. So let's say that something triggers you, a comment or a rejection or a mistake. And instead of spiraling, here's a 3-step method that I use with all of my clients. The first one is to name the thought. So for example, I'm a failure. The next step is to ask, what is the story I'm telling myself? So this mistake means that I am not good enough. Third step is to create 3 to 5 alternative perspectives. So one could be, I made a mistake, but I'm learning. Or one moment doesn't define my worth. It could also be, this is an opportunity to get better. I just learned a new skill that I can apply in so many other areas of my life. Or so many people have quote unquote failed, just like me. So is it really a failure or just a natural step in this process? The goal isn't to find the truth. It is to create space. So you are not reacting from fear, but responding from power. I also love using contemplation. It is something I learned while exploring Gene Keys and has radically transformed how I see the world. So when I feel triggered, I sit with the discomfort and I ask myself, what is the underlying belief or perspective of myself that feels triggered? What else could be true? Maybe exploring the possibility that you are actually wrong and the other person is in the right. So try a few other perspectives or assumptions and see how this opens up your perspective on the entire situation. It will create so much freedom for you. And lastly, am I acting from the values that I want to live by? So a lot of times we react unconsciously. However, when we are clear on our values and who we want to be, we will always have a blueprint for how we can respond. So for example, I have 3 core values that I respond and make decisions from. This simplifies and narrows ways that I can respond and allows me to look at other perspectives from this lens. I once worked with a client who believed that she wasn't worthy of money because she didn't earn it in the traditional way. So she received a large settlement after an accident, and for the longest time, she felt really deep guilt around it. So when she bought her first house, she couldn't fully enjoy it. Instead, she overworked in her business trying to prove that she deserved her life and the house. And because of this, she was extremely burnt out. She was exhausted. She was never able to really give herself time to rest. And through our work, we uncovered the belief of, I must suffer and work hard to be worthy. And we rewired it to, I am allowed to receive easily and am worthy no matter what. And after that, everything changed. She went from working 8 or 9 hours a day in her business and filling her day with work to keep busy to giving herself time to nap, to actually enjoy her life and stop needing to prove her worth through overworking. That is the power of reframing. To close, you are not broken. You are just carrying old stories that were never yours to begin with. So remember, you get to question your thoughts, you get to reframe them, and you get to choose what kind of life you want to live and what kind of thoughts get to stay. And if you want help with this, I have a free mini course called The Embodied Self. It will guide you through expanding your self-awareness through human design, changing your inner dialogue and shifting negative beliefs, and discovering your core values and who you want to be. So comment the word embodied below and I will send you the link. And if you want to go even deeper, I offer one-on-one mentorship where we get to the root of your mental and emotional blocks and use nervous system and subconscious rewiring work to fully transform them and release all of those negative thoughts that are filling your mind. So just know that you are an infinite being, but it is your inability to see yourself that way that keeps you stuck. And it doesn't have to be that way. So let me know in the comments, how do you reframe your thoughts when you are struggling? I would love to hear. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose life you could change today. If you enjoyed this video, I will share a few more right here on the screen that will help you on your journey of shifting your perspective and living a more peaceful, positive life without all of those negative thoughts. I will see you in the next video where we go even deeper into shifting your perception and embodying the life that you are meant to live.